Hey, morning everybody. It's Nick here in our beautiful little hideaway, still in Italy. So today's vlog is actually about some truth. So something happened a couple of days ago, very small thing that really shouldn't have been a big deal at all, but it was a big deal. And I think it's taken me the last 48 hours to kind of process it and work out what it is that it's triggered in me. So quite an innocent thing, and actually this often happens, and sometimes I find them myself and sometimes I can't. Somebody just pointed out a spelling mistake in one of my posts, which is fine, it's no big deal, and the reason I do it a lot is I speed read. And even after I've written a post, very often I find myself, I'll go back and I'll read it several times, you know, just to proofread it and so forth. But actually, I think I get so absorbed in what I'm saying. It's a bit like you can't see the wood for the trees. I don't always see the specific words. Anyway, the bottom line is it's just something that is a part of me. Sometimes there are just some words. There are actually some words that I can't actually pronounce very well either. So I just think it's, you know, the way my brain is wired. Shouldn't be a big deal. But it was. Honestly, it was really a big deal. And my rational mind knows and knew that it wasn't about that it had triggered something in me. But I couldn't get to what it was. I couldn't get to what it had triggered in me. I don't know if anybody else has that. You have to kind of be a detective on yourself. Anyway, this morning, and as a result, I didn't write, and I didn't want to write, and I didn't have anything in my head yesterday. It was quite empty, and actually I didn't feel so great. Now, I got up this morning and I read 2 articles, which is what I do in the morning. I wake up and I always read. It's the first thing I do. I just think it's a really nice way to start your day, actually, just reading. And it's not the news that I read, by the way, because that's not always a nice way to start your day. But I read by, you know, a book I'm reading or an author I like or something. But anyway, one of the articles was by Gary V, who you probably know I follow a lot. He's an American guy who's really big on communications, media marketing. And he's written an article. And in one phrase stuck out in the article, which was, there are so many people out there shunning their truths, not telling their truth, that it's massive. It's more important now than ever for those of us that can to tell our truth. And do you know what? Ding, the penny dropped. And I went, I know what's the matter with me. I know what the trigger is. Despite all of this, despite being 46 years old, despite everything that's happened over the last few years, there's a few things that still really get me, that I'm still almost in that childlike state about. Number one is I'm a pleaser, and it really bothers me if I get something wrong. Number two is I was really afraid that maybe if people just see the one thing that I've got wrong, they won't see the value and the really great stuff. And I think that's a massive metaphor for life. So rather than seeing the value and the content of what I've written is the only thing that can be seen, the mistake, that one small mistake, not the actual value and content of writing. And I guess that then goes further and says, actually, I'm still really scared of being judged, as I suspect a lot of us are. And that can still really hold you back. And it held me back yesterday. The fear of being judged held me back yesterday because I didn't want to write or put anything out there. And this morning I've got up and the penny has really dropped. I am still scared of being judged. That's it. It's as simple as that. I made a really simple mistake, which shouldn't be a big deal. It wasn't presented to me in a big deal. It wasn't made of a big deal. The person who made it a big deal was me, because it triggered something. It triggered something in me, and I couldn't get to what that trigger was. But that trigger is, I am still afraid of being judged. Okay, and when I read that Gary V thing this morning, I thought, no, I can't be. I can't let that hold me back. And that's why I've just come on straight away. I'm going to do this vlog, and I'm going to admit it, and I'm going to put it out there. I am still afraid of being judged, but I'm not going to let that stop me, and I'm going to write about that today. And it's really, really interesting, because I'm sure that there are lots and lots of people, exactly as Gary says, that do not do things because that is what the deep-seated fear is in our deep-seated subconscious. And that's what drives us to be pleasers, and what drives some of the anxiety, and what drives some of the worry. And this whole kind of, you know, real insight has come from this one small thing of, I made a spelling mistake. Actually, I've probably made lots of spelling mistakes. It's just that it's been pointed out once. Okay. And And that probably says a lot, actually, when I apply my rational mind, that people have probably focused on actually reading the content and not worrying or judging me about the spelling mistake. But that's not how I internalised it. So it's really interesting. I've got there. I know what's been making me feel bad about it. I'm afraid of being judged. I'm afraid somebody will think, you know, I'm rubbish. I'm not very good at writing. I don't have anything of value to say. Maybe, you know, I'm coming over, you know, not in the way that I want to. But I'm not going to let that hold me back, because I read what Gary wrote in his article this morning, and he's right. He's right. We do have a choice. And I say it to the kids all the time, you know, you've got a choice here. You can let this hold you back, or you can choose to go forward. So I'm there. I've got it. I've understood what the trigger is. I may always be afraid of being judged, and therefore I may always be driven to please, and therefore I may always have anxiety when I get something wrong. But do you know what? What I have decided this morning, I'm not going to let it stop me, okay? I've got it, and I'm not going to let it stop me. I just wanted to say that really raw and quickly before I lost the thread, and I'm going to try and write about it a little bit more eloquently now. But I suspect there might be other people out there where this is deeply hidden, and it's these small little triggers that create this really massive explosion somewhere else, and you go, oh my God, I can't see the connection. I can't see it because that's just a really small pissy thing. Why is it creating this? And I got there this morning. So that's good. That's good. So maybe I can be more creative today as a result of that. And yeah, everybody have a great day. Take care. Bye.